Welcome back to our not-so-serious but oh-so-epic dive into the tales your history teacher probably skipped because they were too cool for school. Last time, we saw the Ottoman Empire bowing out of Palestine like a magician disappearing in a puff of smoke, leaving everyone wondering, wait, where did they go? And then, the Brits roll in like a savvy stage assistant, shouting, "Skadoosh!" Watch us pull a new plan out of our hats. Now, as we crank the dial up to the British Mandate, things get spicy. Imagine mixing the drama of Game of Thrones with the plot twists of Harry Potter. And boom! You've got the setup for modern-day Israel and its neighbors that are pretty much haters of Israel. From the ashes of empires, amidst the whispers of ancient civilizations, the dream of a Jewish state begins to take form, fueled by the fires of Zionism and the unyielding spirit of a people dispersed but never defeated. Strap in, fam, as we zoom through the 20th century, a time when the world was basically that one group project where no one agrees on anything. This is not just a story of land and power, it's a saga of faith, identity, and the enduring quest for peace. And yeah, it's one hell-long journey to peace, especially when the Palestinians never ever wanted peace with Israel. Ready for the roller coaster? We've got nationalism on the rise, world wars shaking things up, and oh yeah, I forgot the most important thing, the birth of the Israeli nation that's been on everyone's watch list ever since. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride, with fewer camels and more intrigue. So, dear DaJobniks, history is about to reveal you the truth.
Let's roll.
As the British Mandate's curtain falls, the spotlight turns to the UN's Partition plan. It's 1947, and the stage is set for a game-changer in Israel.
All right, folks, let's slice this land into a Jewish state and an Arab state, fair and square.
A state of our own after millennia? Yes, please.
Partition? No thanks. We'll pass on that.
Fast forward to May 14th, 1948. Drum roll, please. The State of Israel is declared. It's a historic moment, a dream turned reality for the Jewish people.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
But wait a sec. There's no time for long celebrations. The very next day, neighboring Arab states launch an all-out attack. It's the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and it's a doozy.
Let's roll, troops. Time to put an end to this new state.
Defend our homeland at all costs. We've come too far to back down now.
The young state of Israel, against all odds, holds its ground. It's like a David and Goliath story, but with tanks and aircraft.
Israel's survival in this war is nothing short of miraculous.
In the midst of the chaos, the name Palestine becomes even more complicated. The West Bank is annexed by Jordan, and Gaza falls under Egyptian control. The land's divided, and so are its people.
The West Bank is now part of Jordan. Case closed.
And we'll take care of Gaza.
For the Palestinian Arabs, the war is a catastrophe, a Nakba. Hundreds of thousands become refugees. It's a humanitarian crisis and a political quagmire.
We've lost everything. Where do we go from here?
Meanwhile, Israel starts to grow, welcoming Jewish immigrants from around the world. It's a melting pot of cultures, languages, and histories.
From the ashes of the Holocaust, we're building a new life here in Israel.
The 1948 war reshapes the map and the destiny of the region. Israel stands as a testament to Jewish resilience and determination, while the Palestinian Arab population faces uncertainty and displacement. because they have issues making peace with the Jews.
1948 marks a turning point. Two narratives, one land, and a conflict that will shape the Middle East for decades to come.
After the 1948 war, the map of the Middle East is like a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces. Israel's here to stay, but tensions simmer. Fast forward to 1967, and things are about to heat up. Welcome to the Six-Day War.
Israel faces a serious threat. We need to act and act fast.
Israel, surrounded by hostile neighbors gearing up for war, decides to throw the first punch. It's a bold move, like playing chess and flipping the board.
Our Air Force is key. Let's neutralize their capabilities before they know what hit them.
In just 6 days, Israel delivers a knockout blow. They capture the Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. It's a strategic masterstroke.
How did this happen? We were caught off guard.
Now, here's where things get even trickier. Judea and Samaria, aka the West Bank, are now under Israeli control.
We've regained our ancient heartland. Judea and Samaria are central to Jewish history.
For Palestinians, this is a massive blow. They see their hopes for a state slipping away.
This occupation must end. Our struggle for a state continues.
Meanwhile, Israel starts building settlements in these newly acquired territories.
We're reclaiming our ancestral lands. This is our right. These settlements are stirring up a hornet's nest. The world's watching closely.
The Six-Day War reshapes the Middle East yet again. The Palestine of old is now fragmented, with Israel gaining strategic depth but also facing new challenges.
Israel's victory is impressive, but it's also opening a Pandora's box of issues.
The war's aftermath sees the rise of Palestinian nationalism and a renewed push for a Palestinian state. The PLO, under Yasser Arafat, becomes the face of this movement.
Our people demand self-determination. We'll fight for our rights.
We need to ensure security, but also consider the implications of our actions.
The Six-Day War is a turning point. It's not just about land, it's about identities, narratives, and the unending quest for peace in a land steeped in history. The aftermath of the Six-Day War leaves the Middle East at a crossroads. Israel's victory reshapes the map, but the quest for peace remains elusive. It's like breathing underwater. This is impossible. Enter the era of diplomacy and uneasy truces.
The path to peace is fraught with challenges, but it's a journey we must undertake.
The 1970s and 80s see a flurry of peace efforts. Of course, after another victory in the Yom Kippur War. The Camp David Accords in 1978 mark a historic breakthrough, with Egypt recognizing Israel and regaining Sinai.
Peace with Israel is a strategic choice. We lost too much already.
This peace treaty is a beacon of hope for the entire region.
But in the streets of Gaza and the West Bank, frustration simmers. The First Intifada erupts in 1987, a grassroots uprising against Israeli occupation. This was the same year of Hamas's uprising. What a coincidence, eh?
We demand freedom and dignity. Our struggle cannot be ignored.
The 1990s bring fresh hope. The Oslo Accords, signed on the White House lawn, promise a new era. Yasser Arafat shakes hands with Yitzhak Rabin, a momentous symbol of potential reconciliation. Yeah, sounds good, right? Let's hope it'll work.
It's time for peace, for the sake of our children's future.
We're making history. Peace is a risk, but a risk worth taking.
Ha ha, just kidding.
Yet the road to peace is littered with obstacles. Each step forward is met with setbacks, violence, and deep-seated mistrust. Wasn't it obvious? Come on, it's like tanning in an igloo.
The Oslo Accords are groundbreaking, but translating them into lasting peace is a Herculean task.
The turn of the millennium sees new challenges. The Second Intifada in 2000 is bloodier and more complex. Hopes for peace fade as the cycle of violence escalates.
The situation is volatile. The window for peace seems to be closing.
Israel builds a security barrier, citing the need to protect its citizens. Palestinians condemn it as a symbol of oppression and land grab.
Our priority is the safety of our people. This barrier is necessary.
This wall is not just physical. It's a barrier to peace and justice.
Fast forward to today. The region remains a tapestry of unresolved issues and aspirations. The name Palestine still evokes a range of emotions and interpretations to such an extent that Hamas carried out a murderous and very cruel massacre of Jews in the Gaza Strip, known as the October 7th Massacre.
The land of Israel is a mosaic of histories, cultures, and narratives. Its story is far from over.
The Jewish connection to the land remains unbroken, a thread that weaves through centuries of history.
This land is our ancestral home, our identity, our past, and our future. Nothing will break us, never.
The future of Israel hangs in the balance, a story of war, hope, and the unending search for a homeland. As the sun sets over this ancient land, the question remains, can peace be achieved with Palestinians? Only time will tell. Or not.
Following the UN Partition Plan's approval in 1947 and Israel's declaration of independence on May 14, 1948, neighboring Arab states launched military interventions, marking the start of the Independence War, driven by rejection of a Jewish state in Palestine.
In response to Egyptian nationalization of the Suez Canal and blockades against Israeli shipping, Israel, alongside Britain and France, engaged in military operations against Egypt, highlighting ongoing regional tensions.
Israel's preemptive strike against Egyptian, Syrian, and Jordanian forces in June 1967 significantly altered regional borders, capturing the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and Sinai Peninsula. This victory significantly altered the region's geopolitical landscape amid rising tensions and threats from neighboring countries.
On October 6, 1973, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack against Israel on Yom Kippur, leading to a costly conflict that underscored the volatile nature of regional relations and the desires of Arab states to reclaim territories lost in 1967.
Marking a pivotal moment in Middle Eastern diplomacy, Egypt became the first Arab country to officially recognize Israel and sign a peace treaty in 1979, following the Camp David Accords, showcasing a complex path toward peace negotiations.
Israel invaded Lebanon in June 1982 to combat PLO forces, leading to an extended military engagement and the establishment of a security zone in southern Lebanon.
Hamas was established in 1987 during the First Intifada. Its charter called for the establishment of an Islamic state in the territory of Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza, rejecting the State of Israel's right to exist.
The First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation in the West Bank and Gaza, highlighted deep-seated grievances and the Palestinian desire for self-determination, leading to significant casualties on both sides.
The Oslo Accords, signed in 1993 and 1995, marked the first direct, face-to-face agreement between the government of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. The accords aim to lay the groundwork for future Israeli-Palestinian relations and the eventual creation of a Palestinian state.
Triggered by escalating tensions and the breakdown of peace talks, the Second Intifada was marked by violent confrontations and significant loss of life, illustrating the deep fractures and enduring hostilities in Israeli-Palestinian relations.
Israel's unilateral disengagement from Gaza in 2005, involving the evacuation of Jewish settlements and military withdrawal, aimed at reducing friction, but led to a power vacuum, eventually filled by Hamas and ongoing security challenges.
In July 2006, a conflict erupted between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, following cross-border raids and the capture of Israeli soldiers by Hezbollah.
Following a conflict with Fatah, Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip in 2007. The international community largely responded by imposing an economic blockade on Gaza, citing security concerns due to Hamas's refusal to recognize Israel and renounce violence.
In 2014, a conflict erupted between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip, leading to significant casualties and destruction. The war was characterized by Israeli airstrikes and a ground operation in Gaza, as well as rocket fire from Gaza into Israel.
The October 7th attack on Israel refers to a devastating attack that occurred in 2023, when Hamas militants launched a brutal assault across the border into Israel from the Gaza Strip. This tragic event resulted in the deaths of over 1,300 Israelis and the abduction of more than 220 individuals. The attack targeted civilians, including women and children, marking one of the most severe escalations in the conflict between Israel and Hamas. The attack took place near various locations, including Kibbutz Be'eri, with Kibbutz Kfar Aza also mentioned in relation to the atrocities. The international community and scholars in Holocaust and genocide studies have since discussed the implications of these actions, with debates around the classification of these acts in the context of war crimes and genocide. This event has deeply impacted the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, leading to widespread mourning and a re-evaluation of security measures in the region. After the terrible Hamas attack of October 7th, 80 years after the horrors of the Holocaust, the Jewish state calls on decent people everywhere to stand with Israel as we fight the barbarians of Hamas and Iran, and as we work to secure a more peaceful world.